Anne Boleyn, what the hell is this?
It's your child, your heir to the throne. Why are you so mad? Is it because she's a woman? Yes, it's because it's a woman. I need a male heir to the throne.
On September 7th, 1533, Queen Elizabeth I was born in the Palace of Placentia. Elizabeth had two siblings who would also see the throne, Mary and Edward, and her parents were King Henry VIII and Anne Boleyn. King Henry wanted a male heir, so when he found out Elizabeth was a girl, he cut her from the line of succession.
Unfortunately, when she was 2 years old, her mother was executed, a common event in her life. So then came James Seymour.
Elizabeth was very well educated, especially considering the fact that she could speak multiple languages.
By this point, Elizabeth is 10 years old and Henry is at his last wife. Catherine Parr was no different from Elizabeth's other mothers, but she did something that was a game changer.
Catherine convinced Henry to put Elizabeth back in the line of succession. When King Henry died, he stated that males will get the crown first, and then females. So when King Henry VIII died in 1547, Edward VI took the throne,
and then died 5 years later.
But Edward didn't like his sisters,
and so he passed the crown to his cousin Lady Jane Grey.
Now here's the thing about old England. They cared way too much about religion, and I mean way too much.
England was divided into two types of Christianity, Protestants and Catholics.
And Lady Jane Grey was a Protestant. She ruled England for a whopping 9 days until being beheaded by Mary I. By the way, Mary is 37 years old. Do you guys remember that one trend where if you said Bloody Mary 3 times in the mirror, apparently she would come out and kill you?
Well, guess where that name came from. Now let's go to Wyatt's rebellion. Queen Mary was about to marry King Philip of Spain. Wyatt didn't like that. So Wyatt grabbed as many men as he can and tried to rebel against Queen Mary's rule. But just like how 90% of British history turns out, the bigger army always wins.
But you know who was allegedly involved in the rebellion? And so Mary locked up Elizabeth in the Tower of London. The scary part is the fact that this is where Anne Boleyn was before she was executed. Eventually she did get released but was put on house arrest.
And then finally Queen Mary died when she was 42 years old.
Now Elizabeth is Queen Elizabeth I.
The Renaissance peaked in England because of her. Queen Elizabeth passed the Act of Supremacy and the Act of Uniformity. Basically, the Act of Supremacy made Elizabeth the governor of the Church of England. Remember when I said people cared way too much about religion? Well, the hype kinda died down. And that's where the Act of Uniformity comes into play. It gave an oath for both Catholics and Protestants. A step up as to equality. Anyone who rejected these acts would be tried for treason. Now some of y'all may know Queen Elizabeth as the Virgin Queen, and that is because she never married. During Elizabeth's rule, the economy staggered. People like William Shakespeare are cooking. But it wasn't all sunshine and rainbows because there were many plots to kill the queen.
For example, the Throckmorton plot.
He was plotting to assassinate the queen and put Mary Queen of Scots as the ruler of England.
This resulted in the murder of Mary Queen of Scots. Then came 1588. England was Protestant, but Spain was Catholic. So Spain sends out the Spanish Armada to take over England. But Queen Elizabeth goes out on the battlefield, gives a powerful speech, and commands her men to go attack.
The battle results in an English victory. But also the age of exploration was happening at this time. Elizabeth sent out Sir Walter Raleigh to make a colony in America. She died on March 24th, 1603, who will always be remembered as a queen who existed, I guess. I'm not British, so I don't really know or care.